Hi, this is a special episode because, first and foremost, what we want to say to you, our audience, is we are so grateful for the love, for the comments, for those shares. Keep it coming, keep the comments coming. We also love the feedback. Now, today's topic is actually one that you, the audience, picked. We are here listening to you now. You had been asking over and over. So today we are going to be talking about postpartum depression. Today we are here as just women talking. We are not professionals. We are not experts. We are mothers. Some of us have experienced this, some of us have not. But as women, I think we've been close to someone that has, or we know someone that has. So this is our chance to share and learn as women. My name is Priscilla.
Amanda.
And Samantha.
So, ladies, maybe what we need to do is to start by defining what postpartum or postnatal depression is. So, this is a depression that is suffered by a woman that has just had a child, typically arising from hormonal changes because your progesterone levels drop, and psychological effects of the change of becoming a mother, and fatigue. And of course, there are so many other factors, but this is what is commonly known. So, when you hear postpartum depression, what comes to mind?
Basically, it's that period when you've just had a baby. The hormones are all over the place. So it's a biological process that's going on, especially if you do not have a strong support system, starting with your partner with whom you're having the child. If they're not standing in the gap as they should, you will feel alone. You feel like you're doing this you're going through a very difficult situation
It's a big change.
by yourself. So it's important that when you've just had a baby, that you gather your village around you and you ask for help. Many times women are afraid to ask for help. You want to be a superwoman doing all these things by yourself. And I was listening to a doctor recently, and they said that during that period, women are going through so many changes at the same time, and some of those changes are used during war. They're tools of oppression. Basically, your diet is messed with, your routine is messed with, you're alone many times, and your
Isolation.
sleep is messed with. So I don't know, but
It's
it's
amazing.
a challenging time. Yeah.
Like Samantha said, it's a very lonely process. I heard some people don't even know they're going through it. Sometimes you need a village around you to identify what you're going through. I've seen ladies just not happy. Others don't want to bond with the baby. They can't bond with the baby. Like, because there's a way people act when they have a child. There's happiness, there's visitors, they're welcoming to guests. And then there's some people, I think some of the signs of postpartum, you go to visit them and they are moody. They don't want you to they don't want you to touch their baby. They're anxious. They can't sleep because they're worried. So yeah, that's what postpartum depression looks like to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, people sometimes, like you mentioned, something vital. Sometimes a woman is going through it and she doesn't know. How do you differentiate? Because there's what they call baby blues, which is very normal. Baby blues will probably happen maybe 2 to 3 days after you've had your child, had your baby. and usually lasts about 2 weeks. So with postpartum or postnatal depression, it runs beyond that 2 weeks. And it can show up at any time. It can even show up like even a year after. Yes. And the longer it goes undiagnosed without you seeking some professional help, the more intense it can be. And interestingly, 1 in 10 women suffer from it. So you are in your house, you mentioned you feel isolated. I remember speaking for myself. When I had my first child, I was surrounded by so much love.
Yeah.
So much. I remember you guys, I think, came to see me. I was surrounded like there was someone with me at all times.
Yeah.
I still felt isolated.
Wow.
I still felt isolated. I felt like no one else understood what was happening, the feelings that I was having. 1 minute I would look at the baby and wonder, what am I going to do? And the next minute I would be very, 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 very happy. So I felt isolated. And then there were moments where I felt numb. I felt nothing. And something that you said that stood out for me, Amanda, is the feeling of you expect that with all this joy and this excitement of a new human, you're going to bond immediately. It's going to be exciting. You're just going to take to it like water to I don't know what.
Yeah.
But it's not the case for everyone.
Yeah.
And just because it's not the case, you don't feel that instant bond doesn't make you not normal. It's very normal. And sometimes, especially after a traumatic birth experience, prolonged labor, it can happen that there is that detachment.
Yeah.
So you're sitting at home, you've had your baby, and you're wondering, or you're starting to feel like, this is not what I expected.
So Priscilla, I like that point you brought up of people tend to assume that it should come automatically, that motherhood is a natural process, so you should jump into the thick of it and go with the flow. Well, unfortunately, there are so many things that happen in a woman's body that people are not aware of. Personally, when I had my first child as well, I think this happens usually with the first timers. When I had my first child, I experienced so many physical changes that I'd never heard of. Nobody warned me about. Nobody told me that these things are going to happen to you. There was a lot of water retention. You're swollen from head to toe, literally, like a balloon. And then there are these cramps you get.
Extremely
Especially when you're
painful when the baby's
breastfeeding.
nursing, yes.
It's like you're going through another phase of labor, and this goes on for weeks. That is something I
for
never
your uterus
expected.
to contract and go back into the
As
shape
your
it had.
body is going through that contraction, you experience these intense pains when you're feeding. Then the first time of breastfeeding, oh my God, that is one of the most painful things I've gone through, and it happens
And
every
the
time.
sores.
The sores, the baby is like literally biting you, and it is so painful.
Like every time you I used to tell my mom that, Mommy, every time I'm going to nurse, I brace myself.
Exactly.
Because it's like I've put a
Like a
piranha.
wound and again.
It's like I've put a piranha on your wound.
Exactly.
Because the force you see those tiny little things, that mouth and that tongue.
And you guys had boys
Yes.
first.
And it
my
happened
God.
that with my last pregnancy as well, my last birth, that pain was crazy. I had to get a breastfeeding specialist. You'd imagine that since you've had them 1, 2, this is the third child, it would come naturally. No, I had to get a breastfeeding specialist to help me walk through that period, because I was having a really hard time with breastfeeding.
Trouble breastfeeding is one of the things that also pops up as a factor that can just edge you closer, because you go into self-blame.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, my body is supposed to do this naturally.
Exactly.
If you've had a child before, you say, but I've done this before. How come with this one? And that cycle is one of the things that can push you further into. Yeah.
And I want to encourage new mothers out there. Do not feel ashamed to ask for help. There are specialists around us. Even here in Uganda, there are breastfeeding specialists. There are
Lactation consults
lactation.
and
Yes,
consultants.
we have all these resources around us. You can do research. You can Google and find out how to do these things better.
There are things to help with the pain. There are shields
Exactly.
that you can put. Although people complain they're not very effective, but the resources are out there.
Yeah.
So
When
the
you-
thing. Oh,
When
please
you
go.
speak of body changes, because me, I haven't gone through it, but I remember seeing Samantha for the first time. Like the way your body changes, it's too drastic. You know, you have a baby and now you don't have a baby and you don't lose the weight immediately.
Exactly.
But yes, I remember Samantha telling us that she was miserable because they were giving her porridge.
Do you know how many friends have called and said, I need to leave home? My mother is killing me with this porridge and I'm just going to balloon up.
Yeah.
The pressure.
I know.
And you feel so ungrateful mentioning that, I'm being pressured. They are overfeeding me so that I can feed
The baby.
their grandbaby. And you feel gratitude, but also the pressure is crazy.
I know.
Samantha told us I was miserable.
I was always joking to mommy. I would tell her, mommy, come and. She's like, mommy, I'm full. She's like, you're going to take that next cup. Like, mommy, I'm not a cow.
I know.
She said, take on the mindset of a cow. Maybe the milk will flow.
Wow. Wow. Tough
I
love.
know.
And it's necessary because also in that moment you realize these are women who, for them in their era,
Yeah.
the kind of care they were receiving, you've had stories of midwives who even slap people.
Yeah.
So the kind of care they were receiving was a balance of tough love, but more tough love than as in get on with it.
Then
I
empathy.
think
you're
that's
not the
why
first.
most people even go into depression
You're not
because
the
the
first to
mother
get on
is
with
always
it.
ignored. It's all about the baby.
Exactly.
Like the baby's priority and
Mom is always laughing because when I was in labor, when they kept coming to check the baby's heartbeat, they kept coming to check on the baby. I kept asking, apparently, what about me? Who's checking on me? I'm dying. I'm going to die. You people are seeing me dying and no one is. So mommy keeps teasing me. She's like, do you remember how you were telling us you were dying?
I know. I saw a video actually of a lady that I think her daughter gave. She had traveled and came back and the daughter gave birth and didn't tell her. Then she told her, "Mommy, I just gave birth," and the mother's first reaction was to go to her baby. She was like, "Oh."
Oh, I know.
And then later she went and looked for the other one, and that's ideally how it should be. I don't know how realistic that is because people are
I don't know. I think
expectant, but
I've seen
usually
videos of that and it's very sweet.
it's
It's
so
so
sweet.
endearing. But also I understand when grandmas also
Of
now
course.
when the way grandmas are with their grandbabies.
They love
I
their
know.
grandbabies. Yeah.
Even it's something you've been waiting for a
Yeah.
while, so you're excited to meet it.
Yes.
And let's remember to always appreciate the village around us.
It takes
The
a village.
support we get, even from people who do not have a responsibility to be there for you. Like I remember when I had my first child, Amanda's mom came home and literally massaged me from head to toe. That is something I will
Wow.
never forget. She
And it's
massaged.
so important because it
You
helps
know?
with that water retention
Yes.
and breast milk
Yeah.
flowing.
Yeah. So being there for people in those moments is really important because it will help them
And I
maintain.
love our culture.
Yeah.
I love that culturally, there are women who think of that because for them, they even have that training.
Yeah.
They know how to do that massage.
Yeah.
It's,
Now that imagine a person with no village.
and
people that
it's
give birth
happening more and
abroad.
more. It's happening more and
People
more
that
with
give
people
birth
who
abroad,
travel
how
to
do they
give birth.
survive?
But also,
It's
I know
tough.
people who have had babies here and they didn't have support.
Yeah.
And they're more prone. When you're looking at high risk factors for PPD, those people are more prone because children in this time where you've had a baby, you're caring for this infant, your village is supposed to surround you then and care for you. So when that gap starts to happen, I think that's where we have more and more cases of PPD coming up.
I saw a lady, a Ugandan lady actually, who opened up a business where she takes care of women who are pregnant and those who have just given birth.
I think
Wow.
it's
She has a
wonderful.
beautiful facility. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's
like a
open.
care, like
it's
a
a care
hotel,
facility.
like a,
It's a
I think it's
postnatal, prenatal
brilliant,
hotel
honestly. It's
where you come check in and they just pamper you.
in the world that we live in today where there are more and more nuclear families, something like that is necessary.
It is.
You pay for the service and you receive your
Yeah.
professional care.
I know.
I'd
Yeah.
love to check into that hotel even when I'm not pregnant.
I've seen the videos of the ones that exist, I think, in China.
Asia, right? Yeah.
Yes, and they're wonderful.
I know that
And
care
even your
is
meals are made for you
nutritious.
to optimize your nutrition, your recovery, but also your breast milk. So everything is, they take the thinking and the
Away.
stress away, so you just focus on and they take the
On
baby away
producing
also.
milk.
And they bring the baby at the perfect time to nurse.
Wow.
It's wonderful. But I guess for those who can't afford, you create your village. You seek the support. You talk to people around you, the ones that you have around you. So I wanted to get into the symptoms to differentiate for people. So for baby blues symptoms, you have mood swings. I'm reading, forgive me. You have mood swings, you have anxiety, you have sadness, you have irritability, the feeling of being overwhelmed, a lot of crying, reduced concentration, appetite problems, and trouble sleeping.
That's baby blues.
That's baby blues.
Okay.
Now, for postpartum depression, severe mood swings, difficulty bonding with your baby, intense irritability and anger. I've experienced this to the point where I actually was scared to be around my older kids and my spouse. Crying, loss of appetite, or overeating. I've also experienced this. Withdrawing from family and friends, I've lived this. Inability to sleep or insomnia, or the opposite, where you sleep excessively. Overwhelming tiredness or loss of energy. You lose interest and pleasure in activities like you used to enjoy. You fear that you're not a good mother. You have those constant thoughts where you're doubting yourself and second-guessing everything. A feeling of hopelessness, feelings of worthlessness, shame, guilt, or inadequacy. Restlessness, severe anxiety and panic attacks. Thoughts of harming yourself or your baby. And in extreme cases, recurring thoughts of death or suicide.
Wow.
So you can see the differentiation.
extremes.
Yeah. There's also something that I read about, and I remember a friend who gave birth abroad reached out to me and told me her story. There's something called postpartum psychosis, and she experienced this. Now that one is even more severe, and you need medication. You need immediate intervention.
Yeah.
So when you start to see these things, usually, even as a first-time mom, you'll start to notice things about yourself. You start to feel like there's something wrong with me. And what is advised is when you start to feel like that, talk to your spouse. Talk to your caregiver if it's not your spouse. Reach out to someone close to you, to talk to them about how you're feeling. Because sometimes, and as a person that has had it for a long time, I felt like, I'm just hormonal. And then I also had moments where I kept thinking, this is all just in my head. But then I would also have moments of clarity where I would, like after a very angry outburst, I would know that, and I would see how the kids would look at me, or even my spouse, and I'd be like, but this is not normal. Even for being irritable, this is not me. Even for being tired, this is not me. So you would usually have that sense that there's something not right.
Yeah.
When you do, don't sit with it. Because the longer you sit with it, the worse the symptoms will become.
Yeah.
And the longer it will drag out and probably get to the point where you're now having suicidal thoughts.
For us, the support system of those mothers who've just had babies, let's extend grace to them. You know, I had an experience where I had just had my baby, and I was living with a relative. For some reason, you have, it's like a guaranteed thing that you're going to be moody, right? You're not sleeping, your routine is off, you're going to be moody. And this person took it personal. Like, I wasn't talking to them, and they're like, what's the problem? You're not talking to me. It became about them. I want us to be more empathetic with new moms.
You're
Yeah, you
handling,
have to
you're
have a lot of
handling a very
grace.
fragile human.
Yeah,
You're healing.
you're not sleeping.
Because they say the place that the placenta, when it detaches, the wound that it actually leaves on the inside is the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah.
So you're actually your body is doing a lot of healing.
Yeah.
There are so many questions, things you're experiencing that you have questions about that you can't check in real time.
You're emotional.
You are emotional, you're tired, your breasts are leaking, you're bleeding, you're trying to remain clean. You're trying to make sure that this small human is fed. But somehow it puzzles me when people think that handling emotions outside of yourself is something that you can do. It genuinely puzzles me. Like, it perplexes me, honestly.
This person was so upset that I was not talking to them.
But you guys, even I went to visit a friend of mine once. She had just given birth. And even me, I got depressed. She was overwhelmed. You remember you're at home? For her, unfortunately, she's an orphan, so she didn't have, like, you know how you have that grace period, you go to your mother's and
Recoup.
Yes. She had some help, but of course they move on. People have homes. No one is going to be in your home for too long.
Yeah.
So anyways, I got there. The maids, of course, she couldn't keep maids because she's now micromanaging the maids. They were never staying long, and getting new help was taking a time.
Yeah.
And she was cleaning the house, looking after the baby, bathing all the time because she's
You
always
sweat profusely.
sweating. So she was bathing all the time. And then the husband, his life was normal. I was so confused. I even had to stay there and help for a bit because I was like, my God, where is the grace in this? Like, I just gave you a whole air.
I know.
So I feel like people need to really have grace for these ladies
Yeah.
because even the mothers-in-law, I've seen people like Sigwa so say, you know, Nabarabaza, like they don't have grace for you. They expect perfection from you still. I've even seen like people like, of course, I watch a lot of TV. I've seen instances where the men even put it in the like the prenup, the like prenuptial or postnuptial agreement, and they say you have to be this size. They give you a size to
The
be.
misogyny of it all.
Yes, they give you a size to be. They expect cleanliness, so you have to keep a clean house. You have to be well kept. Like I'm like,
I know
my
I
goodness.
know a real life case where someone moved his wife and the newborn baby out of the room because he said that he didn't like the smell of breast milk.
Wow.
He said she stank.
Oh
Wow.
dear. But isn't that a level of, I don't know, narcissism?
I mean, I even think it's psychosis.
I think so.
Like that means people are
As
giving
in
birth
that level
for
of
their
unkind,
enemies.
that level of
You're
unkindness.
having a child for someone that doesn't like you.
And you know, now that we've mentioned it, one of the things that can make such a difference for a mom, sometimes my brothers out there, our husbands, these children that we've had, we didn't pick them from the street. So it's confusing, yes. I know they say that this woman has carried this human and bonded with them. So you feel like you've lost your person and you feel like you're disconnected. Take heart. This infant is not going to take over your wife. And even if they do, it's for a period of time because life has phases. So this is just a phase. Please do not distance yourself. Do not start to say,
Look for comfort
I
elsewhere.
don't know what to do. I don't know how to help you, so I don't see my purpose. I'm afraid to carry the baby. I feel like I'll hurt the baby. Please make the effort. But also, to moms, even when you don't know, sometimes even just sitting with someone on a night shift, You people, it has happened that I nearly dropped one of my babies
Yeah.
from exhaustion
Yeah.
trying to nurse in the night. Sometimes just being there, that support of being the person who's like, okay, you nurse, let me carry the baby after. Burp the baby while you just fall back asleep. There are so many little things that you can do that would make such a huge difference, that would create an amazing bond for you and your wife. So because you feel like you're not involved, does not give you an excuse to carry on for yourself like nothing has happened. You're just waiting for things to normalize. You don't want to be at home because baby is always crying. Just honestly, you take part in creating life. Much as you might not be fully equipped, you might not even have the equipment to feed, there are ways that you can try to help. Equally, sometimes because we are irritable, you're very antsy about caring for this baby, we tend to be very particular about how we want things done. For example, I know that I had a diaper changing process that I really wanted
To follow to the
when
T.
the times when I'd be like, you're not helping me, you're not. When he would come to take over to try and change the diaper, I was over his shoulder like, you're not doing that right. You haven't warmed the wipes. You haven't. So also us sometimes, we
Yeah.
frustrate without meaning to. It's not
Yeah.
intentional.
Yeah.
We don't mean to make you feel like you're useless. So
But
try
I
and
also-
understand the mental state we are in. So even us, like, we have to give a little.
Yeah.
He's also going to bond.
Allow the
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Allow them the
Allow the
process
help
of, yeah.
and allow them to bond in their own way. If the diaper is put on backwards, the baby won't die, I promise.
I know.
It has happened in real life for me.
Yeah.
And nothing happened to the baby. So you give the praise. You say, oh, this was such a good effort.
Yes.
You notice the diaper is on backwards. Keep quiet. When he goes, you change it how you want it.
Yeah.
But thank
No,
them
you
for
can
the
even
help.
guide him. You don't have to encourage madness backwards.
Yeah.
But you think, you know,
big
but you
of an
can
issue.
tell him,
Not
can
like
be-
he's telling, you've done well, but this
or
is
you can
backwards.
even say it after,
Yeah.
later on.
Even
Later on,
there,
that
you
evening.
teach him, you coach him through it. But also,
Sometimes coaching becomes, because remember, you're
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah.
Sometimes coaching becomes backing,
Your
my
brush,
friends,
your-
without you meaning to. I'm telling you from experience.
your brush.
Yeah.
Like, you listen to yourself, or you think about it later, or you see them react, and then you see that the next time you say, help me change a diaper,
They're like,
they just, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So I saw some lady talking to her daughter. No, actually, it was a lady, I think, on social media. She was talking about how her mom told her that you cannot be the expert on baby.
Yeah.
That man is the father and he loves his baby. If he's doing things wrong, let him. He will learn. And you know how fathers, how they handle their babies. And they are important, because your baby is not antsy, is not afraid of heights. So they need them in their lives. So let
Yeah.
him be with his baby. Just whenever you're trying to stop yourself.
Yeah.
Even from other people, you need to
Yes.
let people help you.
Yes.
Like I told you that the friend I was visiting, she couldn't keep a maid because she was on that one is not clean. Repeat that. Do this. Change that.
So
you
frustrate
frustrate
the help.
people. The help, even like
Whoever is trying to
Yeah.
help, you're frustrating them.
even the auntie that had given birth before, she was giving instructions
On how to do it.
on how to feed the baby. This lady's like, my dear, I've raised kids as old as you. Older. Calm down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, so
understand?
the point is to accept
Allow.
gracefully.
Yes, allow help.
Yeah.
And also the people who are helping, also remember there are hormones at play.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of grace giving, both
And yeah, on both ends.
both ends. And another thing that's interesting that honestly I had never stopped to think about is that partners can also suffer from postpartum depression.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
They can.
Yeah.
And they'll experience the same symptoms, not everything, but the similar symptoms.
Loneliness.
And the interventions are the same as what they give to the mother. If it's at the point where you need medication, you'll be medicated. I think it's really important for you two parents to connect and to be helping each other,
Yeah.
because that's how you'll notice. He would notice you being not yourself, or you would notice your partner is not being themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you now start to talk about seeking help. Otherwise, if you're both isolated, it could go on and just get worse.
Yeah.
Interestingly, there is also something called perinatal depression, and this one starts during the pregnancy and can easily continue after you've had your baby. So it's the same thing also about talking to your OBGYN about how you're feeling, what you're experiencing. If you're feeling like something is off, communicate. There's so many coping strategies.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to get into.
Mm.
So, when you think about any kind of depression and you have a scenario maybe where someone has come to talk to you, what are the first things that would come to mind for you trying to help?
For sure, it would be call my mom. Because she's the fastest expert I know, and she would be very willing to. And I feel like people are open to speak to older women. Yeah, that's my first thought.
Okay.
But I also know, like, when my cousins were having babies, because when they started having babies, the rest of us were still out partying, you know. So some of the things we tried to do to help them was like sometimes would bring the party home so that they don't have too much FOMO.
Yeah.
So they are not left out all the time, because it's so weird. It's different with this everyday partying is different from like on the day when you have a birthday and you see everyone has had a gathering without you. I feel like that's also
Check on your friends, carry the food, order the pizza.
Yeah.
it's just a cake, really. You can cut it anywhere and go out after if you want,
Yes.
because they'll chase
But
you.
that inclusion would feel so nice. I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah. For me, it's understanding what your needs are, because you need to look after yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. Mentally, it's always important to speak to people, talk about what's bothering you. My friends were always on call.
Wow.
I spoke to my friends, whether we're in Uganda or out of the country, they always picked up my phone calls and would talk for hours. And after talking with your friend, your girlfriend, you get deep when you're talking with your friends. Is that special connection you have with your friend, your girlfriends, that you might not have with anyone else. You easily open up to them and they know you. For me, I've had my friends since I was a child. So there's no judgment there. They know that you're coming from a troubled place. So they make room for you, they make space for you. And you air out whatever is bothering you. Physically, something as small as taking a walk in, having fresh air, taking deep breaths,
Change of scenery.
change of scenery. It helps a lot.
Bringing you back to giving you some little bit of sense of self again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emotionally, knowing that your partner is right there with you is not something you can take for granted, because not everyone has that support. And when you have the support from your partner, it's like
different.
90% of the problem
It's yes.
solved.
I think that
Yeah.
is like for us that have not yet chosen partners or found partners.
Yeah.
You just have to even hit a stone or trip a little bit, and you see the solutions they come up with. Too many.
That's so sweet.
So it's wild for me to find out there's a lady at home struggling and the husband is moving on as normal. I don't know.
I think it's that some of them struggle with feeling left out,
Yeah.
and the solution is to just go with it and give you your space to do what you need to do. But usually that's what they're trying to do, but it's not the solution. It's not the thing that is normal for that time period. Yeah.
So for those ladies out there who are single moms, what tips should we give them?
Seek help. There's so much
They need
help.
to find a village.
There's so much help if you have that friend that you can talk to,
Mother, siblings.
and a sibling. If you don't have access to any of those, hire someone and see how you will feel after you have actual support to come in and do some of the actual physical heavy lifting for you, and you've gotten some rest, because rest can usually adjust a bit. You will be able to differentiate. Okay, am I struggling because I'm just overly tired and fatigued? And or have I rested now and I find I'm still struggling? And now I'm actually going to make the decision to seek actual professional help.
Actually, when you speak of rest, the Bible shares a story of Elijah. They'll tell you how delirious he had gotten when after that, is it Jezebel had threatened to have him killed. He was so delirious that he started praying to die. And God, he just laid there and slept. And then the angel woke him up and he had something to eat. And then he slept again. And then he woke up and he was good to go. And what he was even thinking was not true. He was thinking it was only all the prophets had been killed. There were 100 prophets that had been protected. It's just like sleep, lack of rest can make you
delusional.
delirious
Yeah.
and tired and fed up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Bring
rest
you to
is
the brink
important.
of madness.
Yeah.
For someone who's out there and maybe you're expecting and you're starting to worry, how will these things that I'm hearing, usually there's an overload of information. There are things that you can do. There's something called psychoeducation, where you start to educate yourself about what it first and foremost postpartum is,
What to
what
expect.
peripartum is, what to expect, what are the symptoms to look out for, and if I start to see symptoms, what are the coping strategies that I can seek. Talk to your OBGYN, they're there to answer all of your questions. I had to start this thing where I would write them down because, of course, some of them he would laugh and be like, and I knew they were silly, but I got peace from knowing that I had asked
More professional.
a professional. So don't be afraid to take advantage of a professional who is there that if you're paying for it is more than happy to give you the information. And maybe it will be someone who will also be able to look out for some of these things that you're mentioning as your visits progress. So the same way you look after your body, say physically, if maybe you are running a temperature, your go-to would be to, okay, why am I sick? Maybe let me go see a doctor. Or I have a headache. Or let me maybe take a painkiller. Or let me drink more water. So it's the same way with the mind. You want to look after your mind the way you would look after your body if there was a physical change or a physical ailment. Now, there are things that we talked about. Allow me to read just to get through them quickly. Psychotherapy is one of the interventions that they mention, and there are different ones. So when you're speaking to a professional is when they'll be able to diagnose first and foremost. They have to diagnose, and then they'll be able to now, from speaking to you and having the therapies, to tell you which of the therapies would work best for you. There's something called CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, and then there's IPT, which is interpersonal therapy. And then, of course, for some cases, they can even medicate. Now, of course, most breastfeeding moms, when you hear medication, you've had a little baby, you're breastfeeding, you're thinking, this is poison, I don't want to poison my baby. But allow the professional, because usually they'll take you through the process. If they feel like you're at the point where you need medication, they're going to know which medication, first and foremost, to give what is going to work for you. And then also, they're going to be able to advise you if you should stop breastfeeding or if you should continue. Now, I don't want to go into all the wonderful things that come from breastfeeding. There's so many advantages, and it is so important. So usually, even with any other illness, a doctor is going to be weighing how much of a danger does this pose to your baby? What are the components? So they'll advise you whether you can breastfeed or not. With apparently medication for depression, they say that the ones that they'll give a breastfeeding mom, the component is so small and that the traces that will go through breast milk are so little that when they compare with the advantages of breastfeeding, usually they'll have you take the medication and also have you continue to breastfeed. But also, it's on a case to case basis. So, you really have to be getting the medication from a professional. You can't go to your friend and be like, I know you, but I remember you had postpartum. Do you have any medication left? You can't. You can't be doing that. You really have to get your treatment from a professional. speak to people. There are a lot of group therapies and that they recommend for people who are experiencing this experience sharing, also for you to see the rest who are further along in their therapies than you for encouragement, and there's something to be said about sharing. Sometimes when you're in this thing, you feel like you're alone. Your mind will even tell you that no one else has gone through this. But having that place where you can go and do your group therapy and meet with other moms who have had similar experiences, it will help you feel first and foremost that you're not alone. And then also learning from these women who maybe have come out on the other end from it offers a lot of encouragement. Yeah. Be kind to yourself. I think that one is like high up there. Anytime you make a mistake, it's so easy to go off the deep end and so you're learning, even if it's not your first baby and you've had other babies, just remember that this is a season that is, like you said, it's like you've gone to war. It's tough. So you need to be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Rest when you need the rest. There's always tomorrow you'll do better than the next diaper change or the next bath time. Then the other thing is to accept help. I don't know what happens. I remember, I've had it twice. So I remember for one of the times, I just felt like outside of my mom, I felt like no one could help me. I felt like I couldn't trust anyone to take over. But you're human. You will have moments to be superwoman when your baby is stronger. Later, you will have so many opportunities. But in this time, when you're struggling, is not the time to try and be. And imagine that it's now going to happen. You're going to be superhuman. So be kind to yourself. And then prayer. You people, prayer got me through
A lot.
some really dark times. There are days when I would wake up and I'd be like, there is no way I'm going to get through. You feel like even the next minute you're not going to be able to get through it. And you don't know what to do. You don't know where to turn. You don't know. You know that no one can help you. No one will understand. But just doing some breathing. Keep your Bible. If you're a woman of faith, whatever faith it is, reach out to your God and pray. Whatever book that you're reading, your book of prayer, your book of worship, go in there and read.
And even if you can't pray, ask for people to pray
Ask
for
for
you.
people to pray. Exactly. There are people who are prayer warriors who will surround you and do it for you in those times where you feel like you're just too weak
To
or
pray
too
for
tired,
yourself.
too tired to even string like a thought together. There are people who will be more than happy to step in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in this day and age, I'm so happy that we have Mental Health Uganda. It's like a toll-free helpline. You can call and talk to someone. If you're not sure, if you're not even sure, if a thought just occurred to you, you're too shy. There's something about being ashamed also. I remember feeling shame, like you failed. So you can call the toll-free helpline. It is 0800 212121. You can, I think, check out the website, mentalhealthuganda.com. You can call Monday to Friday. There, I think those are their working hours, 8:30 to 5 p.m. You can call. Your call will be picked up, and you will be able to explain whatever you want. If you feel like you hear a male voice and you just feel like there's a disconnect, I don't feel like talking to a guy. A guy won't
You're
get
not
this.
comfortable.
You are not comfortable. You can actually ask, and you'll be transferred to a female. And then you can ask your questions. You can just have someone to talk to. And depending on the questions, also they'll be asking you, I think, questions. Depending on what they assess, they'll be able to pass you on then to a trained professional.
Is this a government program? Is it a non-profit?
I'm actually not sure.
It's a very good initiative. I
But
didn't
I
even know
just
it
know
was there.
it is an amazing initiative.
Very good.
Yeah. If you're watching and honestly, I know I read it. I know it mentioned on their page. I just don't remember. But if you know, drop it in the comments and let us know. It's an amazing initiative. They'll pass you on to a professional. The professional is going to also be able to do talk therapy on the phone with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they feel like talk therapy is like you need something beyond
not
that,
sufficient.
they are going to refer you. And I loved this so much. Even if you just decide to do talk therapy, they follow up. They do
Wow.
follow up calls.
Wow.
They do check in. Yeah, they check in on you.
That's such a powerful initiative. And to know that it's in Uganda.
Oh,
And
my God,
accessible to
and
all.
accessible to
accessible.
all. It's toll free.
You
You
know,
call, you don't have to have.
there's confidentiality involved.
Yes,
You don't
yes.
have to be afraid that your information is going to be out there in case you speak to a friend or family. There are those
And
issues.
Lugambo.
Yes.
After.
Becomes
People, yes,
KB in the
that
family.
shame thing. Yeah.
So there's an actual initiative that can help us get through our mental health challenges.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. It made me so happy. Yeah. So there are so many options, and you can go online and read, empower yourself.
Yeah.
Read. If you're not sure, you don't want to talk, you don't want to call, you don't want any of these things, do what I did, which was to start by just reading. Also, information is out there. So don't suffer alone. There's no reason in this day and age for you to suffer alone, to be unsure.
Maybe
You're not
even people
alone.
around you need to pay attention and impose help on you, because some people don't know what they need until it's presented
That's
to
why
them.
it's important, I think, to have that support system, because support system is one of the core strategies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you need to have. You need to have a good support system in place. So it's so wide, it's so deep. We can talk until
The
the cows come home.
Yeah.
But maybe what are your thoughts? What was your takeaway from all of this? Or what advice would you want to give?
Yeah. To those young ladies, women out there, first-time moms who are thinking about getting pregnant, I implore you, be very cautious when you're choosing a partner. Because even if the relationship doesn't work out, this is someone you're going to co-parent with. This is someone who you're going to go through that period with. Be very intentional on choosing the father of your child. They need to be someone who is kind. Because when you're kind, there are certain things you're going to do. You're going to be empathetic. You're going to understand that your person is going through a difficult time. Even if the relationship
forgiving.
even if the relationship doesn't work out, at least you have someone sensible that you're co-parenting with. Yeah.
They shouldn't hold on to things for
I
too
love
long.
that. Yeah.
So mine would be, I know many of us take pride. I feel when most people are like describing themselves, you say, I'm a perfectionist. That's one of the, even when they tell you what is your weakness, you're like, I'm a perfectionist, but
Attention to detail.
perfectionism is not something to be, it's a character flaw. Let us start there.
It
Because
holds you back.
yes, it makes you, because a perfectionist, it's only good when it is directed to a craft. With people, you cannot be a perfectionist because you cannot control how people react. You cannot, you cannot control. Then you will be like an airplane mom. You will not have peace. You will not have rest. You will tire yourself out. And we need you alive.
Yeah.
The Bible
Your baby
says
needs you alive.
like a live dog is better than a dead lion. We need you alive. Let people help you if they can. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you need to you have to look beyond those baby days. You need to see your kids grow and meet grandkids and
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I used to tell my partner a lot, I wasn't born a mother. I'm figuring it out with you. If you don't have to know everything. You don't have to feel the way your friend was feeling as a mother. Stop comparing yourself to other moms. God has given you that child for a specific reason, because he has equipped you to be able to raise that child. You and your partner are the best people to raise that child. So start from there. Understand that it's a learning process. You don't have to have all the answers at once. You don't feel shy about asking for help. Help will be given if you ask. And be kind to yourself and enjoy the experience. Savor those moments. It passes. It's so fleeting. It goes by so quickly. that it can be lost. So enjoy those moments. Bond with your baby, bond with your partner, learn yourself, your new self, embrace your new self with your body, with the changes. It is okay. You took 9 months to have this human being. If you don't snap back immediately,
It's fine.
it's fine. It's okay.
And if the husbands need you to snap back, please be kind. Pay for the gym membership, go with her, encourage her. Don't
real
dictate.
support. Offer real
Yeah.
the kind of support that you would want.
Don't threaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Threatening ladies all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're struggling, find help, talk to someone. You're not alone. God sees you. We see you. You're doing an excellent job.
Can you say the number again?
Oh, yes, I want to repeat. If you're struggling, there are toll-free helplines. The one that we've mentioned is Mental Health Uganda. It is 0800 212121. Maybe we'll put it at the bottom of the screen for you. Take care. God bless.